So as a follow-up for my day 69 video, since this is day 70, I kind of want to, I'm not going to apologize, and I'm not going to delete the video. I said that if you didn't vote, I guess, if you vote for Democrats or progressives or liberals, you're unintelligent. Well, I kind of fell down the same rabbit hole Joe Biden here, basically saying if you don't vote for me, and if you're an African American, then you ain't black. But not as bad as what he said. I don't. Okay, let me refine what I said. Okay, I think that we all disagree and agree on certain things, and I was fired up yesterday a little bit just because of knowing the fact that this controversy is going to go away by tomorrow or Monday. It may get brought up, but it's essentially going away. No one's really going to talk about this. The news media is not going to really talk about this. George Stephanopoulos isn't going to talk about this. Good Morning America ain't going to talk about this. CBS This Morning ain't going to talk. You get my point here. Maybe Fox News is going to kind of prod it open every once in a while, reopen that wound. But for the most part, no one's going to keep talking about this. And so I guess I was looking at that, and I'm like, well, if you keep voting this guy, you're an unintelligent moron. No, there are some very intelligent liberals out there. Dare I say even progressives. But I think they are naive. Like they would suggest that I was naive, that I don't vote like they do. I think that's what I was trying to project and portray and actually hypothesize. But it came out wrong. I'm not going to apologize. It is what it is. I said what I said. I'm going to leave the video up. Moving along. So, Biden draws criticism for saying black voters who back Trump ain't black. Okay, so we're going to kind of pass through this a little bit and go to Tim Scott. I think I read this tweet yesterday, so we'll kind of go over it again. Kind of what I just stated is that I'm surprised, but I'm sadly par for the course for Democrats to take the black community for granted and browbeat those that don't agree. I think that's what Senator Scott here is saying is absolutely correct. Just because you don't agree with somebody doesn't really mean you should, browbeat them. But that happens anyways, and I fell down that same rabbit hole. Again, not apologizing for it. I said what I said. I might even agree with it just a little bit. Just a little bit. Not the whole thing. Just a little bit. All right. Trump campaign senior advisor Mercedes Schlapp also weighed in on the campaign, immediately began fundraising from the incident. Exactly. Schlapp compared the moment to Hillary describing some of her Republican rival supporters as basket of deplorables. Exactly. Said Black Voices for Trump, an advisory board for the president re-election campaign, released a statement condemning Joe Biden's comments this morning. So basically what's going on is all the people who don't like Biden are condemning it. All the people who do like Biden are going to vote for him are saying, it's not a big deal. He didn't really mean that. Right. But even some liberal voices expressed their anger on social media. Oh my God, this is mortifying on Biden's behalf for that gratuitous use of ain't, and revolting on my own behalf for the condescending racial essentialism. I say this is someone who would vote for my son's diaper over Trump. He's still going to vote for Biden. It doesn't matter. Just he's pissed off about it, but doesn't matter. Whatever. It says Biden has been campaigning from his basement during the coronavirus pandemic. Again, his people don't let him out of his basement because once people know what he's saying, know what he's doing, know how he acts, the gaffes, etc., they're going to intensify. They're going to be more in the open for everyone to see and marvel. Adam Serwer, I really hate this kind of racist essentialism. That's the second time someone's essentialism. Even if it meant as a joke. How could that be? It wasn't a joke. You saw what he said, right? It's not a joke. This was like him being realist of the real, if you know what I'm saying. The Capitol Police didn't check Tim Scott's voter registration before stopping him for no reason. I mean, okay. Also, white people got to decide who is black and who isn't for a very long time in this country. What? Really? That's kind of a broad stroke to brush on someone who had nothing to do with slavery. I hate these. I don't like these overly sensitive Caucasian people, if you will, trying to say, hey, we're white people and we started slavery. And I'm like, wait a minute, I started it? We? What's this? You got a mouse in your pocket? I didn't do shit. But apparently, that's what happens when you use these really stupid words like racist essentialism. So, and it didn't work out well, so we're not doing that anymore. Thanks. He's a douche. Biden later apologized for the comment. He told black business leaders on a phone call, I shouldn't have been so cavalier, ... meaning that there was other stuff in the middle of that, so we don't know. No one should have to vote for any party based on their race, their religion, their background. Then, you moron, why didn't you say that? Because you don't believe that. You had time to construct a response to what you said, and that's it. So, this is from the Business Insider. Says, I should have not been so cavalier, and apologizes for saying black voters deciding between him and Trump ain't black. Again, I don't believe him. I believe that he actually believed what he said the way he did it, because you saw how he said it. He probably said this before in private. He goes, well, I can't believe if you're black, you don't vote for me, then you ain't black. You know he said that. You know he's said it before. You know he believes this. And so, and you see this especially in the African American community and other communities on the left, that if you even hint at straying from the colony, they ostracize you. Oh no, you're not a purist. You can't be, So people like Tim Pool, even Joe Rogan, I would say that celebrities, if you will, they have maybe even someone in your own life that may sort of drift towards the right of Pol Pot, and you're like, oh nope, you're not a purist. You can't be my friend. It's like, what? It's insane. CBS News reporter Ed O'Keefe tweeted that Biden said on a call to black business leaders, I should not have been so cavalier. I never, ever taken the African American community for granted. At the end of Biden's Breakfast Club interview for host Charlemagne the God, and then basically says, you got more questions? Well, I'm telling you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black. You know he believes that he just didn't come up with that sentence on his own. He's probably been saying that for years. It's like knowing the script for Airplane, the movie back in the 80s. I know it for a fact. I could probably recite it. This is just like him. He's been reciting this for years, decades even. So, a fortnight. In a statement for Twitter, Simone Sanders, of course, said he spent his career fighting alongside and for the African-American community. Whatever. They're just, creating, I guess, a motive, and an alibi for him. That's all it is. Continuing on here, we've already talked about that. And then I think that's one of the things Charlemagne the God, even though he is going to vote for Biden regardless if he's Satan incarnate, he says you can't do that to the black community or the media, meaning that he had to go early. And then and Charlemagne said, because it's a long wait until November, we got more questions. Now it sounds like he wants more questions, probably more of an interview, but he's not going to not vote for him. It's just ridiculous. You got more questions? Well, I'm telling you, if you have a problem with me figuring out if you're going to vote for me or Trump, then you ain't black. And they responded, it don't have nothing to do with that, Trump. It has to do with the fact I want something for my community. I would love to see taking my look at my record, man. He sounds like some 60s dropout. Man, you got to watch out for the stuff, man. You got to do, man. It's like, that's whatever. Biden's an idiot. While Biden's team said the former vice president made the comments jokingly. Look at me here. Look at me. Did it really sound like he was joking, or did it sound like he was sincere? I think he looked sincere. They swiftly criticized Katrina Pearson. I've already talked about Senator Tim Scott. He said the same thing. Offensive and patronizing to black voters. Joe Biden's comments are the most ignorant and condescending thing I've heard in a very long time. I'm offended, but not surprised. Again, if you know anything about the career of Tim Scott, he was a businessman before he became senator. He's a good dude. So, anyways, in a statement on Twitter, Simone Sanders said he spent his career fighting alongside, well, from his mansion, not exactly, at lunch counter sit-ins and etc. He's not really doing that. No, see, Biden doesn't do that. He stands alongside you only for wealthy African-American donors, but not the people, with their, where the rubber meets the road. No, not them. The people nose to the grindstone. No, not them. Wealthy donors, yes. Normal black Americans, African Americans who actually, do the dirty work. No, not them. No. And of course, the comments at the end of the Breakfast Club interview were in jest. Bullcrap. But let's be clear about what the VP was saying. He's not vice president. He's a civilian. He was ex-vice president. That's what it means, was. He's not the vice president. Mike Pence is the vice president. Simone Sanders, he was making the distinction that would put his record up with... No. Okay, he says, if you don't vote for me, then you ain't black. Okay? But here's how they're saying. He's like, well, he was making the distinction that he would put up his record with the African-American community up against Trump any day, period. Well, let's look at it. Who, before all this coof-half and this human malware, the African-American community had the lowest unemployment ever, I think it was. So I'm going to put my record up against Biden with Trump. Trump wins here. Okay? What did you do in the last 8 years when you were under Obama's tutelage? Nothing. You didn't do crap. You made the country worse. Let's be honest. So we'll leave that for a day 70, but it's just amazing that these people will do anything to defend. And I get it. Trump will say some wacky crap and, we will defend it. We'll say, well, you didn't understand the nuance. And I get it. It's, it's plain politics. And I'm not immune to it. And I think that's what I was trying to explain at the beginning of my video about Day 69's video about saying people who didn't really vote like me are unintelligent. Again, you're naive, and it didn't matter. You would vote for Satan over Trump. That just tells me all I need to know about you. I'm not saying you're unintelligent. You're just naive on that Day 70.